The questions surround a Richmond City Council member who owns properties inside and outside of his district and even outside of the city. So we went digging for some answers. The welfare of every citizen in the city of Richmond rests in the hands of 9 elected council members. At Richmond City Hall, they work and they vote. But where a city council member lives is also tied to the job. Under state law, they must reside in the district they represent.
Who lives in this house right here?
Have no clue.
We started looking for clues about City Councilman Doug Connor's permanent home after he proposed redistricting changes that would move this townhouse he owns near Jank Road from a neighboring district into his. The tenant next door says the home has been empty for months.
It's been a mystery to us. We kind of like it though. We get to play our music and not have anybody complain.
So we kept looking. And Richmond property records then led us here to a home Connor owns inside his district on Germain Road in South Richmond. We came back about a half a dozen times, morning, evening, and night, but never found the councilman.
I've never seen a car there. I never.
Germain Road neighbor Willie Shepard says she walks for exercise on her street every day and sees the home the same way.
Empty, like it is with the shutters down.
At least 10 other neighbors told us the same, many saying the house had been vacant for up to 2 years.
We visited every Richmond property listed to the councilman several times, but we could never find him. So we checked the Chesterfield County property listings, and we found this address, listed to Doug Connor.
We went to the Chesterfield home early Monday morning and found the councilman stopping to get the paper in his driveway. We followed him about 30 minutes to Richmond, where he made a stop at his Germain Road property to pick up the mail before heading to work. We looked further into his Chesterfield County residence and found 2 campaign donations to state delegates made from Connor in December of 2011, both listing his name and the Chesterfield address we visited. Additionally, we confirmed that Connor's wife lives at the Chesterfield home and is registered to vote from that address. We set up an interview with Connor for Wednesday, but just hours before he canceled. That evening, a little after 7:30, we went to his Chesterfield home, but no answer. Thursday morning, we asked again and he declined. This time at his business.
I'd like to pick up all this.
And finally, on Friday morning, Connor agreed to an interview.
My Chesterfield residence, which I'm sure you're going to ask me about, is my secondary residence.
Connor told us his townhouse has always been used as a rental property and that his house on Germain Road is his primary residence in Richmond. It's where he's registered to vote, and it's the address listed on his driver's license.
That's where you spend most nights?
Yes.
At the Germain house?
I spend nights both places. I don't keep a tally of where I stay. I just don't have time to do that.
So we asked about the many neighbors who spoke to us.
They say that they never see anyone at that home, that they never see any cars in the driveway, and that the house has been vacant.
Yeah. Well, at this time, with the political season coming up right now, I really can't be responsible for what people say.
We knocked on probably about 20 doors, and there wasn't anyone that knew you.
Yeah.
I mean, as a city councilman, isn't that strange?
Well, I don't think so, because the days people going back and forth, people don't really get to know people very, very well.
So what about the campaign contributions?
Your address was listed to Chesterfield. Was that an oversight or?
Well, no, that was actually, that is my legislative committee, auto body, you know. And I don't know why I don't even know why that would have been listed there, actually.
When asked how many days a week would be appropriate to hold a primary residence, Connor told us 4 days, but again, couldn't give us the number of his days spent weekly at Germain Road because he doesn't keep track.
No, I couldn't. I really couldn't do that. It would be very hard to do.
Have you ever encountered a situation where...
To be clear on state laws on candidate residency, we visited with legal expert Stephen Peepgrass.
Your domicile is the one where you lay your head most often.
He says the Virginia law is clear. Candidates must have a domicile in the district.
Districts are fairly small, and so people know if a person actually lives there or not. If the candidate doesn't live in the district where they're trying to run for election, they really don't know what the voters in that area need.
But Connor says he does know his constituents and knows what issues are important to them. And he says it's because of that he won re-election by a good margin. He says for some time questions about his residency have come up, so he's glad he got to give us an answer.
I welcome the opportunity to do this, you know. But the fact of the matter is, I think people in my district, they're not really concerned about that as much as they are concerned about what I do for them.
Connor says he has plans to move into the townhouse he owns as soon as the redistricting plans are approved and the property becomes part of his district. He says his proposal to redraw the district line was not tied to his residency, but was instead to even out voter numbers between his district and Kathy Graziano's. Catie Beck, CBS 6 News.